think I'm going to stick with my haunted theme. I'm going to do another haunted theme. Yeah, why not? All right. So, hope everyone's having a good day. Thanks for joining me again. I really appreciate it. It's always nice to have company. I don't really have any company, but hey, we can dream. So, tonight's story is from, I believe, Washington. So, we're going to talk about the ghosts of Monte Cristo, Washington's abandoned mining town. So maybe some of you have heard of this, maybe some of you haven't. I haven't. This is the first I've heard of it. So we're going to get into this one blind. But anyway, thanks for being here. I hope everyone is having a good day so far. All right. So this is true. It's a actual location, actual documented paranormal reports, historically verified mining disaster site. Okay. Is it just me, or does it feel like all mining towns from back in the day all seem to have a mining disaster that took place? So pretty awful stuff, pretty volatile environments, really unpredictable. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into this story and let's dive in. I have no idea what to expect with this one or what even happened. So deep in the Cascade Mountains, past washed out roads and trails that disappear into brush, sits the remains of Monte Cristo. I can't help but sound that way when I say that. Cristo. So bear with me. A once booming 1890s mining town that pulled millions of dollars in gold and silver from the earth. Today it's abandoned, rotting, and silent. But hikers swear the silence isn't empty. They say the town is still alive, just not with the living who have my attention. The history that set the stage for us here, Monte Cristo, was I'm going to take all the scary out of this story, because every time I say that name, it just sounds ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm going to try and not say it that way, but Monte Cristo was founded in the late 1800s after massive ore deposits were discovered. The town exploded overnight. Saloons, hotels, mills, and a railroad line carved straight through the mountains. But mining towns live fast and die hard. Floods wiped out the rail line. Avalanches buried equipment, mines collapsed, and workers died underground. It's terrible. By the early 1900s, Monte Cristo was already fading. By the 1920s, it was a ghost town. And that's when the stories began. Okay, here we go. Clanging in the trees. Modern hikers report hearing metal striking rock deep in the woods. The unmistakable sound of pickaxes hitting ore. But the mines are sealed, and there's no one inside. One hiker described hearing rhythmic clanging echoing through the valley, followed by a voice shouting, "Shifts over." Creepy. You know that sound too. I heard it as soon as I read that. It was like clink, clink, clink. When he reached the old mine entrance, the sound stopped instantly. No footprints, no tools, just cold air pouring out of the tunnel like a breath. And then there's also reports of a miner that follows you. Multiple hikers have reported seeing a man in old mining clothes, suspenders, boots, soot-covered face, standing near the trail. He doesn't speak, he doesn't move, he just watches you. One group said he appeared behind them on the walk out, standing in the same spot every time they turned around. He was closer each time. Okay. When they reached the trailhead, then he was gone. And then there's a hotel that still has guests, apparently. The Monte Cristo Hotel was once the pride of the town, a massive wooden structure that hosted wealthy investors and railroad men. Today, only the foundation remains. But people swear that they hear doors opening, footsteps upstairs, a woman humming, and silverware clinking. One paranormal group recorded what sounded like a full conversation happening inside the ruins. Muffled voices, laughter, and the distinct sound of glasses being set on a table. But there was no one else within miles of that. And then mine collapse that never ended. So in the 1890s, a collapse killed several miners. Their bodies were never recovered. The tunnel was sealed permanently, and hikers say that if you stand near the sealed entrance at dusk, you can hear the sounds of rocks shifting, wood beams cracking, and men shouting orders at each other. Someone pounding on the wall from the inside. Whew, imagine hearing that. One ranger said it sounded like the collapse was happening again, on a loop, as if the mine was stuck in replay, its final moments. That's like that residual trauma, that residual haunt. When something so terrible happens unexpectedly, the land can be scarred, and the souls of the people that were in there, they may have died without even know. I did it again, I'm so sorry. They may have died without even knowing what killed them. Like, it could have been that sudden and that traumatic, like they just had no clue. And that's terrible. So, but that's usually what I feel like causes these residual haunts to kind of take place. And then the trial that tries to lose you. Explain. The hike to Monte Cristo is notorious for sudden fog, vanishing trail markers, and strange detours that lead nowhere. Experienced hikers have gotten turned around within yards of the town, walking in circles despite GPS showing a straight path. That's super sketch. Can you imagine your GPS is showing you a straight line? You think you're going the right direction, and in fact, you're just walking in circles. That's really kind of terrifying, to be honest with you. One man reported following a woman in a long dress down a side trail, thinking she was another hiker, only for her to vanish behind a tree. When he checked the area, the ground was undisturbed. No footprints, no trail, just the forest. And then this true account, the final thing here, I think. In 2006, two hikers camped near the old mill site around 2 a.m. They woke to the sound of men arguing outside their tent. They heard, and I quote, "Get back to work. The line's down. We're losing the vein." I don't know why I put those accents on these guys. Like I said, I'm going to ruin this whole story. It's meant to be like spooky, and I'm just being an ass tonight. Maybe it's entertaining. Then came the metallic clanging, dozens of strikes echoing through the valley. Okay. When the hikers stepped outside, the sounds stopped, just went silent. The night was quiet, but the air smelled like coal, dust, and sweat, as if dozens of men had just passed through the area. That's pretty creepy. They packed up and left immediately. They never returned. It's pretty wild. I hear a lot of this stuff in like these little ghost towns. Oregon has a lot of them too. Monte Cristo is a ghost town that in every sense is abandoned by the living, but it's never quiet. So I've been to one of these places too. Oh my gosh, now I'm going to blank on the name. It's here in Oregon. It's an old mining town. I get the same vibe. At this place. Like, there's just an energy that exists in those little abandoned ghost towns. They used to be so full of life at one point, and then the mine dries up or a disaster happens, something, and everyone leaves, or, you know, God forbid, everyone gets killed there for some reason. But yeah, it leaves a stain, you know? It leaves a dark energy stain that just transcends through the rest of time in that location. So anyway, some say the miners are still working, some say the town is stuck in its final days, and some say the mountains themselves remember the men who carved into them and refused to let their stories fade. I like that. If you ever hike to Monte Cristo, listen carefully, because the Cascades have long memories, and some ghosts never stop swinging their pickaxes. That's pretty creepy and sad at the same time. Not a bad story though. I mean, if I think I have some more details. I'm not sure. It's more discussion points for us, really. But the reports that take place in Monte Cristo, they're not vague. They're specific. So people are hearing pickaxes, shouting, orders, arguments, footsteps, doors, voices, the clinking of glass and silverware taking place. All these sounds are tied directly into the town's past. So it's like the place is stuck in replay mode. of its final years over and over. It's just like a loop that never stops. And the psychology of it is fascinating. Mining towns were intense places, dangerous, isolated, full of desperation and adrenaline. I think it's like no rules either. Like it was just probably chaos. Men worked long hours underground, breathing dust, listening to the earth shift above them. When disasters happened, they were violent, they were sudden. Collapses didn't give warnings. That's what I was talking about earlier. Like maybe they didn't even know why they died. That's why there's that haunting within those tunnels, you know? Floods didn't wait and avalanches didn't negotiate. These were just catastrophe events that could take place. That kind of trauma, it doesn't just disappear, it imprints onto the land, into the environment, into the energy around that place. It's pretty terrible. I mean, it's really sad that this kind of stuff happened to so many people back in the day. Another thing that, you know, might be worth talking about is how geography traps memory. So Monte Cristo sits in a narrow valley that's surrounded by steep canyon walls. Sound behaves strangely there. It can bounce, wrap, carry farther than it should. That alone can create an eerie experience in that area. But when you combine that with a town that saw multiple disasters, deaths, and a rapid collapse of its entire economy, you get a place that feels pretty heavy. You know what I'm saying? And there's the minor sightings, which are just crazy to me. Crazy. That's interesting in how they're so consistent, it sounds like. So, I mean, but you're seeing miners with these old clothing, soot-covered faces, you know, like they just came out of the mine, lanterns and tools moving around. Just, they're silent and watching in some cases. That's pretty wild. That's, they're not interacting, they're not chasing, they're just observing. And it's always piqued my curiosity and made me wonder, like, if spirits like this, whether they're residual, whether it's intelligent, and they look at you and you see them looking at you, it's like, are they actually seeing you? You know, it's just, it's crazy. That's a whole nother discussion. So anyway, we can probably wrap it up there. There's a bunch more details here. I think it's pretty cut and dry at this point. I've kind of ruined the mood anyway with my stupid behavior. So thanks for putting up with me tonight. I'm having a bit of a day, so that's why you're getting a little more sauciness out of me. But we'll be back. We'll be back and we'll pick it up and I'll get my act together. I promise. But thanks for coming by. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Maybe it was entertaining, if not scary, you know. So I appreciate it as always. And if you have anything that you want to request or any ideas, if you have a story, I had someone reach out to me last night actually and pitch a couple of different cases that I should look into for the videos here. So I might do that. But I really appreciate that. That was super cool that person reached out. So by all means, you know, hit me up. Like I do read the messages in the comments and I will put that kind of stuff into play. So I'm happy to do it. This is a lot of fun for me. So thank you. But I hope you enjoy your Wednesday night and going into Thursday here. And I will catch you guys next time for Wade's World. Thank you. Have a good night. All right. Thanks, everybody.